Potentially. Chicago Ted joining me here as my mic and Skype was muted.
Yep, I hear you now. So, yep, here
Radiant
I am,
team
ready to cast the game 2, or the game 3 technically, even though there's only been one game played.
Yeah, it gets a little awkward. I need to think of what to actually say in these scenarios. I think maybe just going with game 3 is the safer bet. As
Yeah,
Garbage
I
Gaming,
guess.
they need one more. They were the team that advanced through the playoffs in the upper bracket the entire way, so they come in with a one-game advantage. If you were here on twitch.tv/PlayCEVO-1, you saw Garbage Gaming with a nice, pretty decisive victory there, clean throughout the entire game. And if you're not already on twitch.tv/PlayCEVO-1, make sure to check it out.
Well, yeah, you said clean throughout. There were a couple moments where they were scrubbing a little bit too much and ended up losing a little bit of momentum, but they did take the game pretty handily at the end with that mech pipe and 20,000 advantage you were talking about. This time, though, Garbage Gaming are going to bring out their Poison Snake, and that's going to be the Venomancer out for them, banning out the Enchantress Bristleback.
Yes, indeed. Banning out some pretty annoying heroes. Not too surprised to see all of them get banned out, but it looks like Garbage Gaming has maybe done their research. I know a lot of the South American teams do love the Chen, do love the Enchantress, and it's the second Enchantress we've seen banned out in the first round in this series. But Venomancer is online, the Visage as well from THD, so maybe they're looking to get a little more aggressive. They had, well, a pretty rough defensive trial lane. We talked about the Chen Alchemist as well as the Chen Venomancer win rates being quite high, or actually Alchemist Chen. Yeah, Alchemist Chen, 69% win rate, but that's with Alchemist as a support, not a carry like the way the House is Down utilized him last game.
And speaking of the houses down, they got themselves Visage Nature's Prophet right now. This is a lineup they're looking to come and bring themselves back up with the Zookeeping to go ahead and take this game 3, and it looks like they've got the lineup to do so. Unfortunately, though, the Venomancer Timbersaw combo has been picked out by Garbage, the ultimate encounter push from this team. I love seeing these two guys play together just because you just can't push against them.
Yeah, it's really tough. Nature's Prophet's a start, so at least if a wall of Plague Wards is set up, you can, switch. But Timbersaw is really, really good in the 1v1 matchup at pretty much every point in the game versus that Nature's Prophet. And got to expect a DK pick here from either team.
Definitely. I mean, DK on either one would increase potential to push around that 6-minute mark as if they run him mid lane. But even without the DK, there's a lot of potential to get that push out. DK might actually struggle a little bit versus a Timbersaw. I know he has good armor and natural regen, but he is a strength hero, and strength heroes tend to fall a little flat when it comes to this little guy and the big mech machine cutting down the trees. So Garbage Gaming, they're going to ban out the Luna this game, decide they don't want to run her, but they don't want to fight against her, and they're going to get rid of the Abaddon as well. Meanwhile, Clockwork is gone for House is down because, again, of that Nature's Prophet ability or weakness to getting caught out by his hookshot. And we'll see one more ban coming out from them pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb here and predict the rest of Garbage Gaming's lineup. Bane, Mirana, Dragonite, if they can get them. I think that's what Garbage Gaming wants to pick up here. Dragonite and Venomancer has a ridiculous win rate. It's so hard to stop the push with the Plague Wards and just the damage that can come out with the slows from the Gale, as well as, the free Eye of Skadi you get at level 16 Dragonite. So Bane gets banned out, so they're not going to get that one. And when you ban Abaddon, it's basically saying, hey, we're going to pick Mirana. So I think that's what they wanted. As for Houses Down, Dragonite, 6-minute mark, Dragon Form, Treants. Very good time to push for THD. So we'll see what the picks are from here on out.
You can still get Shadow Demon. He's a decent one to land to get those hooks with, as well as Rubik. So there isn't a lack of banishment, as I call them, heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
I like that.
Yeah, you do? So do I.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Bane is one of the stronger ones in terms of being able to lock down a hero indefinitely. With the Fiend's Grip, you can definitely kill them during the duration of that, as well as a Nightmare to keep one guy still for a long enough period of time for that arrow to hit. Nightmare, again, though, isn't one of the best as it can be taken off. Crystal Maiden was the other one I was trying to think, but with the Frostbite, House is down, though. They're going to go with the Crystal Maiden Visage, and this is a roaming ganking powerful support group coming out on this side. And I believe you mentioned that their win rate was about 50%.
It's 52%, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good. It's a strong roaming combination, as you mentioned. Familiars have, pretty good presence in multiple stages of the game, whether it be for fighting early, for split pushing, for backdooring Iraqs, whatever you need them to do.
Yep.
But it's a pretty scary combo. Gyrocopter gets picked up, so not a hero I would have expected. Looks like I'm wrong for my predictions, sadly.
And Gyrocopter I've seen fall off quite a bit just because, it was a while ago, if anyone remembers, but Flat Cannon, getting that increased cooldown, it just hurts him so much, as that's his main carry skill. The rest of it just makes him what he is, a sort of initiator, tanker, damaged nuker.
And a strong 1v1 hero, and he's a carry, so he's easy to leave alone.
Not marked as a carry, though, which is funny.
Well,
and
that's because he wasn't intended to be.
Yeah, but the Flat Cannon is what makes him a carry, I will say.
Yeah,
there is that strong 1v1, but that's only really early game. When you get into the later portions of the game, you get more team fights. You don't really catch them out 1v1 unless you're really chasing them down. His ultimate's still decent, but there's a lot of ultimates that are non-carries, that make non-carries decent. So, again, Flat Cannon, that's what's powerful about him. And when you make it so that he can't use it as often, it gets a little bit difficult to start running him as a carry because you're getting all these damage items on him when he's easily caught out, easily dies to a bunch of lockdown, and now can't get out his AoE damage as quick as he used to be.
Well, GG. House is down wins. They got Slardar. This hero is broken, and I'll be the first to say
Beyond
it.
repair. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. If he doesn't get shut down earlier on, he's not like many other carries where he can play from behind, but wow, can he output a ton of damage.
The sprint buff, he was always, I think, a good hero, but he was pretty mana intensive. As soon as they took the mana off the sprint, it made him instantly viable, and then on top of that, they buffed his amplified damage, the ultimate, as well as buffing his bash damage. It does 100 damage at rank 4 now.
Let's not forget, as also, the Blink Dagger, which is normally picked up on Slardar, now has 0 mana cost.
Exactly, and it's just a strong form of initiation with the bash damage increase. Even without strong damage items, because you wouldn't blink, he's still going to be a right-click threat with the skill set he has, and I just think he's so good for a team. But Puck gets picked up as a bit of a rebuttal, some more team fight control coming out, and even potentially split push a little later on in the game.
Definitely, and Puck is just another one of those heroes that can kind of catch out Nature's Prophet if he's not careful. I still think Storm Spirit is one of the better heroes to do that, but of course Puck does have a lot of other uses, so we can't just say that. Banning out the Templar Assassin, though, they don't want to deal with that extra damage amp from her minus armor.
And, armor reduction from Meld.
Yeah. And instead it's going to be the Invoker. Okay, you know what? Now I'm permanently rooting for Houses down. There it's so little. Invoker gets picked up so little. If this is a Wex Invoker, by the way, a Quas Wex, or even Exhort Wex, I would root for this team to the end of the earth. That is a really fun combo. Undying, though, oh man, there is some heavy push team fight coming out from Garbage Gaming. This is going to be a very interesting game. A lot of unconventional picks and a lot of conventional picks.
I think Garbage Gaming, again, is going to need to get off to a really good early start, because now we've got a Slardar who's going to be able to punish positioning, assuming he does go for the Blink Dagger. Invoker as well, likely going to get a Midas. I think it might not be a terrible idea to still stay Exhort just for some more damage on your team, but Quas Wex, the utility, is pretty ridiculous as it keeps getting buffed every patch now. But we'll see. Let's introduce the teams. I'll once again start off here with the Dire. We've got the creator on what apparently is Chicago Ted's favorite hero, going to be playing the Invoker in the mid lane. We've got Vestius going to be on the Visage, which is one of my favorite heroes. Goo, hopefully he doesn't lag out this time, playing on the Crystal Maiden. Who else do we got here? We've got Neofolk going to be playing on the Slardar and the Mushroom Knife, Nature's Prophet, with the Ginsu, which we should point out. It's an auspicious, I'm Sean Connery, Scythe of Vice.
That Scythe of Vice, by the way, is going for more than $20 in the market right now. So it is incredibly auspicious.
Oh, it's
So
a new bloom one. That's why it's not as much as the other ones.
yeah, he actually no, I tested it. The auspicious one is going for that much money, so it's expensive.
30 seconds.
Either
I thought
way,
the genuine ones should be like more than that, though, right?
probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Either way, Froghead will be the Venomancer this game, throwing out the poison. We got Rafizzle on the Gyrocopter. Triceps will be the zombie Undying, and of course, no zombie safe from Chicago Ted. We got Puck is going to be on the SMD. Or SMD
Close.
Puck. I'm close, yes.
Battle
And
begins.
Stufu will be on the Timber Saw. So only a little bit of a slip up there. I was going good coming into that, but
sorry,
Always
that
something.
one happens all the time to everybody. As we do have an aggressive tri-lane here with Triceps on the Undying. It should also be noted, it was the 5th pick, and I think Undying can still be pretty good as a 5th pick, because there's nothing to take out the Tombstone. Well, I mean, I guess Slardar can focus it down, but there's nothing to take out the zombies that it's going to spawn. So if they do a good job zoning in the team fights, keeping the Tombstone alive, it could be pretty dangerous this
I
game.
don't know. There's a lot that THD can put out in terms of AoE damage, so it might be interesting to see how they deal with it. But I usually see the Undying laned out alone, so it's going to be interesting to see him go in a lane. Of course, this doesn't seem to be the best ganking combo out
Nope,
there,
definitely not.
but they aren't terrible. If they can get behind, get a slow off, and get in Tombstone, it can definitely result in a kill. They're going to go ahead and wait to try to get a gank off on the creator, and I am wondering whether or not it's going to be possible.
Yeah, it seems like a really bad idea to be roaming them right now. If anything, they should just make their way to bottom faster, and they're going to give up. They even showed themselves like, yeah, we're coming bottom, so get ready. Gyrocopter should do well up here. He's got the Rocket Barrage and the Flak Cannon to take out some of these pesky treants, because they still won't take aggro from creep, from attacking heroes, unless they change that without me knowing, but I'm pretty sure.
Froghead and Triceps, though, are still roaming, and it looks like they want to make this a tri-lane on tri-lane. And Stufu and Goo are going to be, or Goo is going to be the one to get caught out here, but Neofolk isn't going to let that Whirling Death go unpunished. He's going to go ahead and get an auto attack off, but that's going to be the extent of that engagement. And yeah, it's just going to be tri-lane versus tri-lane, which is exactly what Undying likes to see.
Yeah, definitely a tri-lane versus tri-lane hero. We see him already now landing those multi-person decays. He's got 3 up on him right now. And that did receive a buff. Now every level lasts for 40 seconds. I got
Did you get
timed out of
timed
the
out?
game.
Yep, so did I. I think everyone did. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue. One thing I'd like to note while we're reconnecting back onto this game is this tri-lane is going to crush Slardar. You've got strength steal from Undying, as well as the strength reduction from Whirling Death. He's just going to have nothing. No
Yeah, that's
tank,
actually a really
no
good
blade
point.
last
I
hit.
mean,
Yeah.
your primary attribute is strength. It controls your damage. And if you're stealing that away, it's really going to hurt.
It's kind of like any intelligence hero versus OD in the middle lane.
But on the flip side of that, though, being a decent lineup of intelligent heroes at the end of the game is a lot better, because Eclipse isn't going to do 10,000 damage to your strength heroes. So, double-edged sword a little bit there.
Double-edged sword, yes, but I don't think
At least
there's an
in
OD, so
my
I don't think it
point of
matters,
view.
but
There is no OD, no.
we won't have to see that comparison being made. But again, yeah, well, Undying does benefit from that extra strength, and he can become that Sanity's Eclipse if he goes out of hand. And I'm getting constantly disconnected, so the server might have died.
Yes,
Do you know
me
if the
as
players
well.
are still in game, or if we see a constant or a complete disconnect?
I'm
It
going to assume
looks
we've all
like-
been disconnected. I see
Yeah,
everyone
everyone's
leaving
leaving
the
the lobby.
lobby.
I'm gonna
So, looks like we're going to be rehosting from another save. Game is very hard tonight, by the way.
No,
Just like to point that out.
wish we had a chat.
I don't even know if
though.
did we get to a point where it would even save. Let's see. Whoa, we can restore from save points from other games. That's hilarious.
Let's not. We don't want to see TI through grand finals here.
Yes, we do. Let's go restore from that game.
I don't think you could still restore from it.
No, probably not. Alrighty, there we go. We got all
Whoa.
our heroes set up.
Or do the players know?
I don't know. If you can inform them on Paladin, that would be great. Well, generally, our casts go a lot smoother than this. We've had quite a bit of delays tonight, but it gives us some time to let you guys know about the upcoming CEVO Season 4. So make sure to check that out. Go over to CEVO.com, sign up your team. $5,000 prize minimum guaranteed for Season 4. So CEVO.com, find out all about that. Sign up. You've got until February 17th. Maybe even have a chance to get yourself cast here by myself, Chicago Ted, Gorgon, and or Toffees. Also Ever Improve, potentially, as we see some people rejoining here. We've got Stufu in back up on his role.
Yes, definitely. In the chat, Taz noted that yes, Crush and Nova do equal a lot of dead zombies, so there is a way to deal with it when the game starts going on, but of course zombies will stack up, and especially if you get slowed up by the poison, or not the poison Nova, the venomous Gale, then it could start really getting annoying. But yeah, Dota being a little bit temperamental, like that girlfriend at that time of the month. Just, you can't reason with it. You just got to go with the flow.
Oh, that was so gross at the end.
Not
phrasing.
That kind of flow. Not that
phrasing.
Kind of flow.
You're on thin ice tonight with your phrasing.
How am I on thin ice?
That was disgusting.
It's
As
only
we need
disgusting.
THD. Maybe my head's just in the gutter.
Yeah, it's just you. It's
whatever.
all you, man.
It's phrasing because it's just a poor word choice
Okay.
for describing that scenario. Kind of like whatever you said earlier with the back end.
How is that bad?
I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter.
No, I think I know why, and I think I need to tell you to just kind of clean up your mind, dude. You're way far left field right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're back. Well, phrasing is really just extending from Archer, you know? Phrasing, yeah, if you watch the show.
I have not. I've been planning on it. It's
that's
on
a
Netflix,
good one.
So I might be picking that one up soon.
All right, well, we're back. I don't know what time we're restored at, but, you know, at least we don't have to go through the draft again, so this one wasn't as much of a delay. We're at 2 minutes in. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It looks like the supports had already rotated down. That's not pink.
We actually might be at the exact same time, or very close to the exact same time that we came down. And yeah, we are seeing mass disconnects.
This is too much. This is too much for me right now.
What's going on, Volvo? Come on.
Well, I don't know. I've got a notification that our other channel, twitch.tv/playcevo, just went live with CEVO placement games. Learn to play CSGO better. Unfortunately for you, Tom, you are casting Dota right now.
Yeah, we did. If any of you didn't know, you can go check the VODs. I was going over there. We did a CEVO off the clock, where we played a bunch of games with viewers. That was a load of fun. They were gonna have me dry cast a game that was going on just to laugh at me, and unfortunately, that game we couldn't get the information for it, so I did not get to do that. But keep your eye out, because these kind of off the clocks, they don't happen often, and they're a lot of fun to watch as well as they are to do. So yeah, just a couple of extra things. CEVO is not just about being all serious and casting games, even though we haven't been very serious over some of these pauses.
It happens. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Very much. And it looks like we've got reconnects coming back in. Do you think we're going to go the rest of this game without having anyone disconnect?
I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. But we're back into the game now. At least with all the delays, we haven't lost too many viewers, so that's always good news. Shout out to everyone here tuning in on twitch.tv/playcevo. As we see Stufu rotating up, Gyrocopter going to rotate down. I think that's a very wise thing to do. Although, you know, both of those heroes would have done pretty well in the tri-lane, but Timbersaw a little more level dependent, more so than farm.
Yep, and again, they really want this tri-lane on tri-lane. They predicted wrong in the beginning, and it's just easy to rotate around your heroes. You lose a bit of levels on the back end of it, but when you're in a tri-lane, you don't get many levels anyway. And I mean, Crystal Maiden is still at level 1, so it's not too much of a discrepancy coming out. But it's, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. 2 intelligence and a strength versus the anti-strength, anti-carry Undying. We're just going to have to wait and see how he does against the Slardar. And I imagine it could go pretty well. He's lost all his extra little strength stacks, so he's looking to pick those back up as soon as possible.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the mid lane here. A matchup that I think these days is pretty hard for Puck with the 2 spells coming out early on the creator. But looking at, 12 and 3 on the Puck, 10 and 1 on the creator's Invoker. And I guess you're snickering because we see a complete lane rotation. The tri lane for THD is now up top.
Yep, and now they've got the Frostbite down on Stufu. There's a Grave, and this is going to be interesting to watch, but it's a Soul Assumption he gets thrown out to find the kill. The Grave goes down for an extra bit of gold, and there's a rotation. At 3.5 minutes, 3 heroes get rotated, and this is musical lanes going on right now. In fact, more rotations, more teleportations, and more, more aggression as the first kill going this time to THD.
Yeah, and there were 4 heroes up in that top lane, so that's a 4-man gank, or at least 4-man team fight, whatever you want to call it, at only 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So at this point, we might as well just quad lane. But once again, Nature's Prophet Gyrocopter are going to find themselves up against each other in the bottom lane, and I don't know if it's really that big of a deal if they just keep Timbersaw in this aggressive tri lane. It's going to be hard for a melee hero going up against both the strength stat loss from Decay as well as the 15% stat loss from Whirling Death.
Yeah, this could be some next-level mind games, actually, from Garbage Gaming. Just kind of trying to manipulate THD into the laning orientation that they want to fight. Because it definitely seems like your Venomancer Undying Timbersaw combo is going to shut down the Slardar pretty hard, and they wanted to make sure that they were the ones fighting him.
Yeah, and, well, there's not a lot of stuns to speak of on the side of Garbage Gaming. They're going to be really dependent on multiple person dream coils later on in the game, and if THD starts picking up some 4-staps pretty early on, I think that'll really help them out and be able to dodge any fights that Garbage Gaming tries to throw their way.
Definitely. So we can see that Garbage Gaming, they actually have the ability to just kind of go to this camp right across from the creep wave and just kind of burst it down. Now Neofolk is going to get galed up, but that should be the end of that with a Crystal Nova flying out, dealing a little bit of damage, and that slow to boot.
Yeah, again, no stun up here. Venomous Gale no longer has that damage over time, so when you throw it out, it's just a slow minus the strike damage, which is minimal. And it's a big chunk of that hero's mana, very small mana pool, and not going to be able to really fight until... Well, he's got 1 more clarity left after he pops 1 here, so a couple more Gales to be thrown out.
Yep, Nature's Prophet having a bit of a fun time versus Refizzle, dealing a good amount of damage. Refizzle, though, does have a couple tangles to get out of a bad situation. Neofolk, does he get hit by the Gale? He does not. He's safe in the top lane for now. There was almost a bad situation for him as SMD had rotated up with that Dream Coil that you had talked about a little earlier, and that is a little bit of missed opportunity, but overall, it's not going to amount to too much. Just maybe some wasted time.
Invoker, some free farm, and I thought maybe Invoker might rotate for the rune. It's obvious where Puck has gone, and Invoker finds the DD rune, although not a hero that relies on a bottle, so he'll have it and go back to the lane and dominate it a little bit. Maybe he can even pick up a kill here on Puck, or go bottom.
Yeah, he's got Quas Exhort build right now. Only got Forge Spirits and the Sunstrike, but the Sprout doesn't actually catch him in long enough. He does have the Cold Snap, but the call down is just so strong right now.
That was kind of awkward. I mean, they could have checked his inventory and seen that he still had Tango, so the Sprout's not going to work. They were better off trying to land the Sunstrike off of the Cold Snap damage instances. I think that would have been the better route, but I don't know.
Well,
not too much time lost.
The Cold Snap had to be invoked, and if they invoked the Cold Snap, then the Sunstrike would have gone away.
Yeah, it would have gone away. But whatever. Forge Spirits, Cold Snap, that's pretty good as well, I would say.
Actually, no. You're quite right. They actually would have sent the Forge Spirits away, so he could have casted the Forge and then gone in. I wonder what the plan was there, and I guess the answer might be they didn't have one.
Yeah, there you go. Spur of the moment. But here in the mid lane, we see SMD getting in a little bit of trouble there as he gets harassed with those Forged Spirits, but still doing very well in farm, so he's going to have up a Blink Dagger relatively soon if he decides to stay on the tier 1 boots. But Vestius could be in some trouble. This could be the first kill here for Garbage Gaming. No rotations, no TPs coming in the side from THD. Vestius will drop. Stufu, actually, Venomancer is going to pick up that one. So netted up on the board now, 1-1.
Yeah, and that just shows the power of this tri-lane. You get caught out by a slow, Stufu does, he can be all the way over to the lane. All he needs to do is walk up and then get to you with a Timber Chain, and you can pretty much count your blessings and say your prayers as you're probably going to die.
Well, TP's come up top. They get greeted by a Decay going on to a couple, actually just the Crystal Maiden. And now, you know, the Poison Sting is coming out from... Oh, mid lane, actually, SMD trying to get that haster. Needs to take the ball. Will take the ball. He dropped the Dream Coil on Creator. And Creator actually mini-stuns himself, which maybe allows SMD to live. But bottling up here quickly with that haste rune. Doesn't have the Dream Coil, but maybe wants to go back in. But Creator. And actually in the top lane, a kill on the Venomancer. We've got Triceps in trouble. The crush from Neofolk.
This could be the Nature's Prophet.
Another one there. Oh, did he? My kills actually bugged out. No, yeah, Nature's Prophet got it. It just looked weird.
I'm getting Invoker's Quas bugging out. He keeps recasting. I don't know if he's just pressing it.
No, yeah, I got it. That was my fault. I was just really expecting Slardar's name to pop up, and it was Nature's Prophet with the Wrath of Nature, so good eye.
Yeah. I was watching the Wrath of Nature come in, and I saw that correspond. Rafizzle, by the way, farming up those Treants, which is giving him an extra boost in gold. Even though his last hitting has been decent, now it's incredible because of that. So yeah, the Flat Cannon is definitely his call to fame in this game when it comes to the damage output, as well as being able to split it out amongst a ton of heroes and a ton of units. That doesn't have a limit on how many units it hits. So that just makes it one of the better instances of that kind of split shot mechanic. Medusa is obviously the other one, but she has a limit.
Yeah, well, Medusa arguably one of the best late game carries. It's just getting there is kind of difficult.
And I think I think your carry potential is directly related to how many times you can split shot without a cooldown. You know, Gyrocopter, his carry potential kind of went down with the extra cooldown, and Medusa has no cooldown, one of the greatest carry potentials in the game.
There you go. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but Goo throwing out some more zoning. Crystal
man.
Novas, but it's going to be Frog. Head Sunstrike coming in as well, not going to land on anybody. Tombstone has dropped. They might be able to pick up Neofolk here. One more Decay, actually. The Timber Chain forward will get it. Now Nature's Prophet's going to show up. Stufu in a bit of trouble. Juan survives a little longer. Actually able to chain away that one right-click, though. Will seal the deal, so he drops. Nature's Prophet picks up that kill. They get the Undying as well. They're fighting into the Tombstone, and, well, they're getting pretty low, but luckily for them, it disappears right there. SMD could have got the Crystal Maiden, wants to go for more. Will drop the coil on Knive. Knive jukes into the trees, and that was potentially one of the more awkward things I've ever seen, but Nature's Prophet, very happy, will live.
I don't think he should have backed up there either. He definitely could have tried to walk around and get a couple of auto attacks off. So some really questionable decision-making coming out so far from Garbage, who so dominantly crushed THD in the early game last game because of great decision-making. Now they seem a little lackluster, and it could be that they got a little confident. It could be that THD have figured it out and want to be like, are finally ready to take this game. But whatever the case is, THD, it's 2-6. They are the ones ahead, and they have poised themselves to go ahead and try to make this a series 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, at 11 minutes in, it's only 1,000 advantage in both categories for THD, Gold and XP. So it's not a huge lead, but, I mean, they're up 4 kills, and it looks like it could be more here. They're going to get a gank going here on the Gyrocopter in the bottom lane. Sunstrike going to land this time, and he will fall, so doing all the right... Well, will he? Wow, the slow from the cooldown will allow him to survive. The Familiars are going in. They're looking for him, but I don't think they're going to be able to get to him. Puck is there, but no Dream Coil. Could have maybe picked up 3. That Dream Coil in actually 5 seconds. He needs to bait this out a little bit longer. 2, 1. Blink forward, Dream Coil onto 3. Here it is. Nicely done. Picks up 1 with the orb there. Another auto attack if he can get it, but he will actually go down. I'd say it was worth the play. Had he landed that orb on 2 instead of 1, he would have picked up 2 kills, and it would have been worth it. Definitely.
So this was a weird fight, to be honest. It was THD, instead of falling there, decided that they were going to go out as gracefully as possible, and in doing so, were actually able to pick up the return kill and not lose any more than 1. And I'm talking about the fact that they knew that Dream Coil was coming, and they completely spread out. So that the Puck didn't have the opportunity to kill 2 of them with that orb, instead only got 1. And they were locked in, but they turned around, faced Puck with a stern face, and said, "You're not trapping us. We have trapped you." They turn around and they get the kill.
They were quite spread out. I mean, they all get hit by the Dream Coil, but, you know, you don't even have enough room to spread out from a Dream Coil there. But only one gets hit by the Orb. The only thing I could say to Puck is maybe you should have went for the Nature's Prophet, but in the mid lane, we actually see Timbersaw and Puck. They're going to get a kill there on the Invoker. So the Creator goes down, and he does have his Midas already, so Midas phase. Nice timing here as he looks to be going for, it looks like either a Force Staff or maybe a Mechanism first.
Well, 0 points in Wex will do that to you. Typically, you know, I'm not going to preach anything, but I like to get 1 point in all three. And you know what? We're going to go in ahead on THD Knive. He's going to get called down, barely misses, but he is Dream Coiled in. He can't get out. Vestivus, though, is going to get the return kill with the Wrath of Nature coming in to guarantee that Puck is still in the sidelines. And I don't know if THD know he's there. They're just going to go about their business, not really paying any attention to him. Just sending, as much as sending your familiars over to check would probably guarantee it. They might even know with Triceps there that there is something going on. But, again, they have no idea the Puck is there. They draw him out. No, that's you drawing him out.
That's me. That's me.
And he's going to go ahead and teleport on out into the mid lane. He goes. So, I don't know if they were going to be able to get a kill off of that, if they did find him. But, meanwhile, a silence out onto the Invoker mid lane. They're not able to pick up the kill from that.
Oh, up top, Neofolk. He's going to go ahead and unveil his recently bought Blink Dagger. Sets up the stuns there on Froghead. Sunstrike on the Invoker is going to get the kill there. So Invoker, not only does he escape some aggression in the mid lane, he's going to pick up another kill with his global ability. How nice of him to do such things. 9 and 5 for THD as they slowly inch ahead this game. And they've got a Midas. They've got 2 Midas. One on Nature's Prophet, one on Invoker. So as the game continues to go like this, THD going to get really, really far ahead.
Well, you got to trust the Midas touch there, as Midas Gaming has seen its phase, his popularity rise and fall, but it's still a pretty decent strat if you can get him early and if you can carry the game on late. And there's your Blink from Neofolk, and that's all she wrote, as Gyrocopter just gets blown to bits.
It would appear
yeah, I wasn't quite there. I was watching Undying, was getting chased around by Trance in the bottom lane, and actually now it looks like he is finally in trouble, so we will go back down there. Wrath of Nature does a lot to all 3 of those guys, as THD is able to not only get a kill on the carry in the top lane, they also take out the tier 1 tower from the Radiant side. And looking at the pushing potential of Garbage right now, they don't really have any, to be honest.
Definitely, they do have the counter push that's still there. This is almost like a role reversal right now, as we see the team having a lot of counter push being pushed on by the really strong or the early advantage team. So we're gonna wait and see how that works. But SMD actually, great reaction time, phase shifting out the stun and the oh, what is that? The Soul Assumption. Well, it doesn't get the second one. Meanwhile,
that was a really weird Dream Coil. It looked like it latched on something, but then didn't latch. I'm not sure, but it goes 1 for 1. Quick reactions by Puck, no doubt, on that phase shift, but he does go down. They're able to get the Visage as a rebuttal kill there, which is okay. It's a support for a mid, so it's still favoring THD. It looks like they might get Creator here, but the disarming, deafening blast goes out and should facilitate the escape. Meanwhile, Slardar just going to go ahead and TP away there from Triceps, who is currently flexing his Trifex in the Flesh Golem form.
And meanwhile, in the sewers, the Rat's going down in the bottom lane. Knive as well as Goo just pushing down this tower. Not the strongest pushes right now. Nature's Prophet does suffer a period where he doesn't push as fast, but he still creates a lot of heroes. Now SMD looking to go on Goo. There's the orb, gets juked out. Goo throwing out the Frostbite. There's nothing SMD can do on that.
Sorry, I was trying to talk to the chat here.
Oh, look. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. It would appear Radiant's top tower is
definitely in. Yeah, so basically,
I'm back.
If you weren't watching what happened, if your camera wasn't down there, it was just Puck going down to the bottom lane to try to kill off Crystal Maiden, but Crystal Maiden, with the great movement, great positioning, was able to make it a 1-for-0. Puck going down. SMD not having the best Puck game right now.
No, I mean, he's had the opportunity to make some pretty big plays, and he almost did, especially with that 3-man coil in the bottom lane, but so far, not the best. I mean, there's a lot of burst damage for this very, very squishy hero, and even though he picked up a nicely timed blink, he did very well in the lane. It's just had a hard time having any impact in the mid game, THD, they've got a strong Rat Dota split pushing lineup, as well as a pretty fearsome team fight. And just to reiterate, there was a concern, no in-game items, no item drops. We re-hosted from a save, so that they might be disabled. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
That's weird. I was seeing them earlier.
We're in-game, are we not?
Yeah. Oh, we are. I can check right now to make sure we're on a ticket right now. We are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Game.
Maybe that person doesn't know what they're talking about. Maybe they're bugged. I'm not sure. But team fight here coming
out.
out. So Lardart tries to get a crush, doesn't quite land, but a call down is going to take out 3 from THD immediately. Really nice placement on that one by Ralph Fizzle. Going to chase away the rest of them with the flak cannon. I don't know exactly what Neofolk landed his crush on, but it looks like it might have been the Venomancer. He dies there, and then just Gyrocopter, right place, right time. Lots of damage as he's going to start picking up his BKB. 900 gold away from completing it after that.
Yeah, that was one of those fights that every caster likes to see, just because you get to yell at the top of your lungs while it's happening. But yeah, we did see items come out from that most recent fight. So items are enabled. They are dropping. If you
Crisis averted.
Yep, crisis has been averted indeed. But that shows the power of the combo right now that Garbage have. And it's going to be Neofolk. He's actually going to get a kill on Froghead. That's going to go the way of the Crystal Maiden from the Frostbite. Another call down, just such low cooldown. That sounded a little bit like Doge there. Such cooldown. Many calls.
Yeah.
Wow. Neofolk going to get the stun on to 2. There's a Sunstrike going to hit on both of them. And now SMD running away. The damage is there. He will take it. And Vestius getting a double kill. Spangler is going to get an item from that. Good job, dude.
And Darkside, what up? Shout out to my boys there, as well as the Visage play. Thwomp Thwomp on the familiars. Both of those to get the kills as well. Really nice play by Vestius, and the pick-off potential with this Blink Dagger, and a pretty tanky Slardar. He sprints away with the no mana cost, he blinks in with the no mana cost, able to live, and the rest of his team backs him up. So THD, nice performance this game as they look to go in and take out the middle tier 2 tower here.
So yeah, an originally 315 mana combo, or 215 mana combo. I can't remember exactly how much mana Sprint used to cost. So you
I
can
want to say it was
75
as well, but I'm not sure.
Around 300 mana combo is now reduced to less than 150 because of those buffs. I mean, this Slardar, he's got 429. He can let go of close to 4 combos. Granted, he has a little bit of mana regen in the middle. I mean, that's a lot more than he used to be able to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you still gotta say you're taking 15% additional damage off of Sprint, but that's not a huge deal because he's about to build a BKB, and then I believe that mitigates that factor. And
you're also dealing an additional 15%. You're dealing a little bit of damage. No? Never mind.
No, it's just bonus speed.
Yep.
And yeah. As he's also got an Aegis, so he can even die once here. I think if we looked at Roche, the 2 minutes 40 seconds, so yeah, about 3 minutes left on this Aegis, and I think they're going to look to put it to use here and fight up on this bottom lane. So it's really up to Puck and Gyrocopter here to drop those big team fight controlling ultimates, and if they don't, I think THD could potentially walk over him right here.
And it looks like, yeah, the Neofolk is going to go ahead, sprint up just to get some vision, which damage amplification does give that extra vision. One of the better aspects of it. I mean, of course, you know, minus 10 and minus 20 armor is still good, but still, some great vision coming out, allowing them to see where the positioning of Garbage is at all times, and making their decisions accordingly. That's going to help them out as these fights happen, but you can see their struggle. They're pushing into Plague Wards galore, and they're having a lot of trouble doing so. Meanwhile, SMD is going to go straight on in. Can he get the Dream Coil? There's 5 heroes in the vicinity, but he does not end up dropping it off. There's a call down missing absolutely everything. Stupu going to go down right away. Fizzle actually takes out a Necro Creep, was it? Taking a bit of damage from that. It ends up killing him. The Fez will go down to a double kill. The Aegis gets popped, but at what cost? SMD on the back lines will go down to that Soul Assumption. And Stufu, I think I called him the Fez in that fight.
You might have. I have no idea where that came from, but we're just going to run with it here. As that's what we talked about. There was no Dream Coil. There was no call down landing on anybody, and THD dodged it, and they were so bunched up. It was a little sad for Garbage Gaming. as the tier 2 tower here in the bottom lane is going to fall. Triceps is actually just going to go ahead and call the GG. I'll admit it's a little early, but we've had some massive delays, so it's maybe not a bad idea to get this thing going here. We're not professional casters. Well, we might be professional casters, but we don't get paid to do it full time. These players don't get paid full time to play either, so time schedule's on a Thursday. It's real life, as we're going to get here into another game, THD. They got pretty outplayed in the first game here tonight in the grand finals of CEVO-Open Season 3, but making a run for it. The comeback. I'm Helium. With me was Chicago Ted.